Welcome back. So let me ask you a question. When is the last time that you examined your life? When is the last time that you ask yourself the tough questions? The question of, how is my life going? Do I like the woman that I am becoming? Do I like the man I chose? Why or why not? Because anytime you can examine your life, you can then decide on the things that you want to keep, as well as the things that you want to get rid of, and even the things that you want to add. So who am I and why is this important? I am Marshawn Olanio. I am a shift relationship strategist where I help Black Christian women that are married or in long-term relationships to stop feeling disconnected and unloved and shift you to feeling heard, understood, and appreciated first by yourself and then by the man in your life. So let's jump into this, how to examine your life and or your relationship. I have 3 things that I want you to look for and when you're examining your life. So I already started with the first one, which is to ask yourself a series of questions to get down to how you feel about your life present day. Because if you don't know how you feel about your life present day, if you've never taken the time to examine your life's decisions, your life's choices, your partner, even yourself, then there is no way that you can think about growing and moving forward. There's just no way. Most of us are just flailing about like fish out of water through the life. But then we also have the audacity to complain about the way our lives are going. But guess what, sis? You are the author. You are the co-creator of your life. And I say co-creator because I'm totally in agreement that God already knows the life path that he has for us. We have to figure out what that is and then begin to walk in that direction. So when you figure out what your purpose in life is and you start to walk down that path, there are so many other doors that will open up for you. So many other doors that will open up for you. I remember when I was writing my book and I was just like, I don't know how I'm gonna get this book out there. Somebody recommended a couple that edits books and then also helps to market it. They did that for me and my first book got out there. Well, then I took it a step further. Not with that book, I created a second book. And then I figured out how to market that book. And then I start walking in that path. I also, of course, started the YouTube channel. Now, if you're following me on this YouTube channel, I've been on YouTube for just about 7 years. My first channel was taken away from me and now I'm starting all over. But the point is that once I started creating these videos, because the first thing I actually did was do my YouTube channel. The second thing was to write the books. And so when I first started doing my YouTube channel, I had no idea that this was going to turn into a business for me. I was doing it because I noticed that there were so many people out here talking about relationships and advice, but it was nobody that was talking about how to be in a healthy relationship. The thing when I first started, it was all about how to get the guy, how to keep the guy. But it was never about how to really be in a relationship when the rose-colored glasses come off and you really start to see the real person when you're next to the person each and every day. And so I help Black women figure all of this out and really understand what they're doing right so they can keep it, but also what you are doing wrong so you can throw that away and start to implement the things that research, my own research, as well as countless doctors out there have done the work. And now I am just sharing their message in a way that you can understand it, because without the knowledge, none of us can get better. But beyond the knowledge, if you do nothing with the information that you get, your life stays the same. So the biggest part about changing and co-creating your life is to take the action to do just that. And a lot of people get discouraged because they then figure out this actually takes some work. It takes some rewiring. It takes some new habits. It takes some new behaviors. It also takes you throwing away old habits and throwing away old behaviors so you can be better, so you're able to communicate the best way possible. Many of us have problems with our communication. Many of us have problems with our communication, which is the biggest thing. It is the biggest breakdown that happens in our relationships is our communication. And so the more that you're able to grow and articulate yourself and clarify your message, the better of a communicator you are. And then you don't have to worry about your partner walking away, scratching their head, trying to figure out what the heck you just said. You can lay it out and be factual. As a matter of fact, this is how I feel. This is why I feel this way. And I would rather that you do this, offering a solution, because a lot of us can go and complain, but not many of us take it a step further to bring a solution to the table. Now, that doesn't mean that your solution is going to be used in your relationship. But what it does mean is that it gives you and your partner the opportunity to talk about how to make that problem go away in a way that both of you can come to an agreement on. So the first thing is to ask yourself plenty of questions about your life in its current state, and do you like the way things are going? And if you do not like the way that things are going, again, this is your opportunity to now figure out and take action on creating the life that you really want to be a part of. The second thing on how to examine your life and or your relationship is to look back. Look back 6 months and figure out all of the lessons that you learned. Now, the reason why you're doing this is because you don't want to keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again, right? In order to stop repeating the same lesson, in order to stop getting the same remedial class repeated to you, you have to figure out what that lesson is that you needed to learn, and then cut that thing off at the root so you can stop doing that thing, so you can stop knocking your head up against the wall. You got to do something different. So look back in the past 6 months and record in your life and in your love life what lessons you have learned, so you do not have to learn those things over and over again. This also means, but is not limited to, putting your partner on the spot about the things that he needs to change. This is mainly about you and the things that you need to change, the things that you are not getting right. Does that mean that you need to set more boundaries? Why boundaries? Because I find that so many women have problems with setting boundaries with their partner, with their spouse. They don't have a problem with setting boundaries with the children. They don't have a problem setting boundaries with their coworkers. They don't have a problem setting boundaries with a lot of people. But for some reason, when it comes time to set boundaries with our partners or with our spouses, we have a problem with actually creating them, number one, and then sticking to them, number two. We have to be able to do these things. So this could be something that you are doing wrong. Again, boundaries is just one thing, right? Boundaries is a part of a boundary is you saying yes all the time. Maybe you are a people pleaser. Maybe you are the yes person. Maybe you're the person that always says yes to everything, not realizing that you are frustrated and annoyed because you have stopped pouring into yourself, and you continuously try to pour into him, into him, into him, into her, into her, into her, into your children, into your parents, into your siblings, into your you are being stretched too thin. And so again, part of saying no is a boundary. So I'm just taking that a little bit further because I know that I have so many women that are people pleasers that come to me, and we work on helping you to establish and stick to boundaries and creating consequences when the boundaries are pushed or gone past. Boundaries are a big thing. So what lessons have you learned in the past 6 months? And then third and final thing is to think about the things that you need for your relationship and or your life to be better in the next 6 months. So what is it that you need to do? Do you need to enforce your boundaries? Do you need to cut some people off? Do you need to watch what you're watching and listening to? Because some people don't realize that the things that we listen to and the things that we watch, they also make an impact on the way that we see the world as well as how we see ourselves. So not only protecting your mind, you have to protect your ears, you have to protect your eyes. You have to protect your entire being from a lot of this negativity that is going on out here. Now, does that mean that you need to be blind to it? No, you're not going to be blind to what's going on in the world. But you want to protect your peace as much as possible, because that is something that you have control over. Maybe that's another thing, is letting go of some of the things that you don't have control over, releasing that so the frustration can go away, so the disappointment can go away, so you can stop being resentful towards your spouse over things that you have no control over, such as, but not limited to, trying to change his habits and behaviors. You can't worry about his habits and behaviors because you only can control this person. Me, I'm talking about me, but you, because you're watching this, you can only control you. Even your babies, even your children or child, you can't control that little one either. As much as we try to, right? You can try to direct them and teach them, but control them is something that we as parents try to do, but we fail at, which is why we're getting frustrated and annoyed with our babies. But realize that they have their own minds. They're going to still do what they want to do, no matter what we tell them, because some of the best lessons learned are when you get popped upside the head. That's when we learn the lesson the best, is through the experience. And as you know, and I'm sure other of your friends and families know, that some children just need to get busted upside the head before they learn the lesson. You are no different as the adult. Sometimes you need to get busted upside the head in order for you to learn the lesson. So examine your life, examine your relationship, and figure out the things that you need in the next 6 months to improve or to make your life and or relationship better. And then start taking action on them. So if you have a list of 10 to 20 things, you don't want to start trying to implement all of those 20 things at one time. You want to take 1, 2, or 3, depends on how many things you can handle at one time, and then start to work on that area, making that thing better. Maybe it is setting boundaries. Maybe that is your biggest thing that you know that you need to do. So for the next 6 months, you are going to set your boundaries and stick to them. Maybe that's the thing, right? Or if you can handle more than that, then say, okay, I need to stick to my boundaries, but I also need to fill in the blank, right? Don't overwhelm yourself. But this is how you examine your life and make it better, and especially your relationship. These are the 2 main areas in your life that you need to be better in. I love you guys. My name is Marshawn Olanio. I am a shift relationship strategist, where I help Black Christian women that are married or in long-term relationships to stop feeling disconnected and unloved and shift you to feeling heard, understood, and appreciated. Now, if you need some help with your relationship, I have a link down in the description box below. It is bit.ly/help-my-relationship, where I can help you with a 30-minute free strategy conversation, where I help you with one thing during that call to help you to change a habit or behavior. Obviously, you have to take the action, but I can help direct and guide you on what it is that I have seen success by you taking these particular actions. I love you guys, and there's nothing that you can do about it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye now.